What is up? What is up, folks? A little bit of Christmas you can see in the backdrop. If I turn my computer like this enough here, you can see the old tree. Yeah, you can see Ian too. There he is. Okay, bud.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I'm coming on here. I come up with a title, and I'm sure we'll get into it all. But you guys can hear me. But um, talking to a friend, they said, I'm gonna toot my own horn here. That I'm the only podcast they still listen to, which I thought that was pretty awesome. I know there are several of you out there who listen pretty religiously, and I'll keep doing this. And it's funny because you know folks reach out on IG all the time. One guy even reached out and was like, "I saw your news, your 60-second news. I want to get back into the hobby. Can you recommend any good podcasts?" And I sent him a link, and it was my show. And he messaged me like 2 days later. He's like, "I'm such an idiot. I didn't realize you had a podcast when I asked if you could recommend any, and I'm hooked on yours now. I've listened to like 12 of them." So it's funny. I'll keep doing this. 98. At some point in the next week, we're going to hit our 100th solo episode. I will tell you, this time of year, as we get close to the awards, the hobby awards at the end of the year, I definitely miss my co-host. I definitely miss getting into an argument with him, a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of, fighting. I'm sure we'd have some fun conversations about the NBA, maybe about this in-season tournament. I'm sure he would think it would be stupid. Mostly he would hate it because LeBron has found a way to be 4-0, and the best team in the in-season tournament is the Lakers. So he would find a way to crap on that, I think. So the hobby, man, it's the gift that keeps on giving, right? And I try to steer clear of the drama. I try to steer clear of the drama of the day. Obviously, I make light of it in my news episodes and that kind of stuff. But I do want to focus on the cards, but that's only part of what we deal with, right? I mean, the drama is part of it, the money, the industry, the business behind it, it's all part of it. But I had a question. I made a statement somewhere along the way on IG, I think over the long holiday weekend, about, cards. Somebody posted about it, and I basically was like, hey, the response about cards it's not business, not flipping, it's not any of that. It's, what would make the hobby grow. It was, kind of like 10xing the hobby, right? It was in response to that little video that I made with the guy jumping, and someone was like, it was Renee from Storage Wars, or Bargain Hunters. And he was like, look, I see people see a guy failing. I see somebody trying, fanatics doing something that, and what I said was, I think what ultimately the hobby needs is people who see a card, want that card, buy the card, and keep the card. Just think about that, right? The steps of it, right? Like, it's, I want a card, see a card, buy a card, keep the card. Not a lot of that. And I'm not preachy here, but I took that forward and I said to my son, I said, hey, buddy, what do you think about the hobby? He's like, hey, I want to go to a show. And I'm like, well, why? And he's like, well, I want to sell more cards. I want to sell stuff, and I said, okay, well, can you tell me a card that you've seen in the last couple of years that you would want to just keep? A card that's not a card you want to buy because you think you could sell it. And he thought for a second. And he said, no, I can't think of one. And that, I mean, look, I led him there, right? I mean, this is what I do, ask leading questions. There's no one here to object. There's no judge. I kind of was expecting it. I was hoping he'd come up with, some card that he liked or something, but there wasn't any. And I thought back to, my origin of collecting. And I remember being his age, right? And building an 85 top set. Talked about this a bunch of times, needing Len Sakata to finish up my set. I wasn't building the set because I thought it was going to be something I would sell for more money after I built it. Hell, it probably cost me 3 times as much money to build the set card by card than if I would have just bought the factory set, or if I would have bought, a hand collated set from somebody who was, ripping boxes. And it's an interesting thing, right? Because, here I was, a 10-year-old building a card set because I wanted to have the cards. I wanted to have, that Joe Carter rookie. I wanted to have a Dwight Gooden rookie. Wanted to have Brett Saberhagen and Oral Hershiser. Names that probably people listening to this don't even know who the hell those folks are, right? But I wanted to build that set. The Mark McGuire Olympic team rookie in '85. Hell, Corey Snyder and Odie McDowell Olympic team rookie cards too, if you really want to go there. It's a different space. And I wonder if there's going to be the same nostalgia for it. I think there is, but I think it's going to be nostalgia for something different. I think, my son and the kids who are doing this and the young businessmen who are in the hobby / industry now, they will have nostalgia for a time where it was a liquid industry, where it was easy to flip. And maybe in 15, 20 years, they'll be looking for the Lukas, the Treys, the Jaws, and the Zions that were so popular now. I mean, the unfortunate thing is they made so many of them. I don't know, if the Lukas and the Jaws and the Treys are going to be worth any more than the Corey Snyder and Odie McDowell Olympic team rookie cards that are worth pennies now because of the mass production. I guess the real question that I pose, right, about the cards itself is what's being made now that's going to be a draw in 20 years? Right? What is that card, right? I mean, if you think back, right, even the 80s with junk wax, maybe we didn't realize it at the time, but heck, those Tiffany cards they're collectible. Those rookie cards, the Tiffany short produced cards, the finest refractors that were made for baseball, and then obviously later on the chrome cards, and then when you got into your numbered inserts, I mean, those cards they're highly sought after today. What, if anything, is going to be sought after? What is it that kids are going after now? The kids who are going to be the ones trying to collect this stuff and keep this stuff. And I have a hard time answering what that is. I really do. I don't know what it is. We could talk about like real rare stuff, scarce stuff, talk about one-on-ones, but even that, there's more one-on-ones now than there ever were before. And another difficult part, right? Are kids going to have nostalgia for this? Or are people going to have nostalgia for this? I would venture to say that more people have come into this hobby, to this space, and lost money in the last couple of years than have made money. Now, this is supposed to be about the cards, the drama, and the money. I'm supposed to just be talking about the cards and what's going to have that draw, what's going to be nostalgic, what's going to be something that people want to collect and keep. But unfortunately, if the legacy of this space over the last couple of years is losing money, who the hell is going to want to have nostalgia for that? And think about that for a second, right? We're all hoping for, a 10x of the hobby one way or another. And maybe that takes 20 years. Maybe it's just the way the population grows, the hobby grows, sort of like the last boom cycle of the 80s and 90s, and then the 2000 booms and the now boom cycle, right? Maybe it takes a while, maybe it takes a couple of decades, but I can tell you, the early 90s, that late 80s, it was premium cards, the introduction of a premium card rather than just a base card, from Leaf 90, 89 Upper Deck, 92 Bowman, 93 Finest baseball cards, those super premiums. I remember being in a store and there was $30 a pack in 1993 and thinking that is insane. Like I maybe go out one pack a year. Like I could ask for that for Christmas and have to split it with my brother and get one pack, and thinking about the super premiums that came out, that was that was that, right? And, you're 20 years after that, or, whenever it was, your early 2000s, you're exquisite, like a real super premium, right? What is now? Is it flawless? Like, is it that Halliburton case? Is it National Treasures? Is it Eminence? I mean, what is it that's going to be, the card, the brand, the cool technology of now? What is it that people are going to be like, all right, that's the thing from this generation, from That's going to be the one that the kids are going after. And I have a real hard time. I asked my kid, what is it? And he can't come up with it. And that's an interesting thing. So there's topic one. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I may even do a post on it, right? What is the card or card set or thing that people are going to be chasing? I have a hard time thinking of anything from Topps, right? You know, I can't just say RPAs, right? Because RPAs are, you know, they've been around since '03. You know, the LeBron Exquisite was sort of like your RPA, right? Like that was the you know, the real. I mean, it's been around since before that, but you know, that's like the real, you know, coming of age of an RPA. You know, what is it? What's the thing? What's the, you know, what's the big chase now? Is it these animation cards, these manga cards? You know, I pulled a Steph Curry out of a box of hoops. Looks kind of weird. Is that going to be the next like calling? Is that, well, remember when they made those like animation type cards? Is that going to be it? I don't know. I'd be curious what you guys think it is. You know, is it like the National Treasure RPA? Is that the, you know, is that the card of this generation? And does the, you know, does the Panini licensing kind of going away? You know, does that change your answer? Does that make, you know, sort of like here's the Panini decade or so, and you know it's going to be known for this? Is it gold prism cards? I don't know the answer. I'd be curious what you guys think it is. Not knowing the answer is, I mean, it's a bad thing and a good thing, right? Because you don't know what to chase now. I will be the first one to tell you, I don't think people were chasing PMGs back when they first came out either. Just gonna throw that out there. I know I wasn't. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. We'll see. Maybe it's something we don't even know. You know, hell, maybe it's I don't even know. What could it be? Maybe it's like Obsidian Color Blasts, the black ones. You know, the ones that that have the black background and the colors on them. Who knows what it's gonna be? Downtowns. I have no idea. The drama. Let me just throw my little hat in the ring on this one. Okay, the drama. I may start blocking people on Instagram. There you go. I've been doing this for years. I've been on Instagram for years now. I feel like an old man. You know, started doing the podcast almost 3.5 years ago. Hell, done, you know, millions of listens now and downloads and, you know, 1,200, 1,300 total episodes when it was all said and done. I've sold on every kind of platform. There are people out there now who I think they think that their place in the hobby is to just be the critic, to come on where someone else is creating or someone else is posting or someone else is making a post and no, you don't know what you're talking about. Or I can't believe this is what you would say. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about anybody, you know? And there are still people out there who want to contribute to the hobby. I don't know why. And I'm not going to get into their altruism. I'm not going to get into whether or not somebody is looking to start a podcast because they want to get sponsorships and make money. I don't know what's in their brain. Maybe they just want to talk about cards. You know, maybe they want to have a conversation. Maybe they need an outlet. Maybe part of the hobby for them, like me, is being able to just talk, right? And chat with you guys and throw something out there that maybe is thought-provoking, maybe gets you to send a question to me or your thoughts to me. I love that back and forth. I feel like I'm having a conversation with 1,000 of you. My DMs after every episode are the best thing in the world. I love getting a message from someone an hour after they listened to my episode saying, hey, this is what you said. I disagree, but they sent it to me, right? And we have a conversation about it. Hell, my story about Jalen Hurts yesterday, I had some fun stuff in my DMs again. But why go after people when they just want to go out there and do their thing? You know? All right, so somebody's going out there and they're doing car rips and they're making a podcast and they're having some guests on. It looks like they just kind of show up out of nowhere. You're going to hate on them and say that they don't collect cards. You're going to say that they didn't pay their dues. You're some kind of a gatekeeper for them. Let them do their thing. And if you think you do better, do it. You know, somebody wants to start their own podcast. You don't like the name they came up with? Come on, guys. You know, the word wax. I don't think anybody owns that. You know? Anyway, throw it out there, right? For me, the drama, while I poke fun at it, while I probably am involved in some of it, I through my own fault, I guess. But the drama, I will tell you, while it's interesting and makes for some funny little segments in the news, It is easily my least favorite part of the hobby and the space. It really is. I wish there was none of it. I really do. I wish we could just come on here, talk about cards, talk about, um, what's going on. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about person to person drama. My definition of drama doesn't include, talking about and holding companies accountable. You call that drama, let's bring that drama all the time, right? You know, I love that. If a card's done the wrong way, bring it up. If there's too many redemptions, bring it up. If customer service is crap, bring that up. You got ideas on that, go ahead. That makes it better. But there's a difference between a hobby participant who just wants to go out there and, talk to 12 people in their first episode and not care. I want to build something and want to just, make a podcast or want to start making content. I honestly believe that the more people we have like that who are voices and can bring folks from their lives into it and are having fun and are showing people having fun, I think the better for the hobby. And I never will come up with what will 10x the hobby. Having more people do that stuff, that will X the hobby. Whether it's 2x or 1.5x or 3x, I don't know, and I honestly don't care. There's enough drama in this space. There's enough, crap going on, and cards going missing, and non-pays, and theft, and break-ins in stores, and all kinds of frauds. Enough of that we should let people who are having fun with it, and they're having so much fun with it, they want to go out and talk about it, and talk and share and build a community and talk to an audience. We should let those people do that because it counterbalances some of the other nonsense that goes on in the hobby. And honestly, give them a little bit of rope, give them a little bit of a leash here, like let folks go. Don't immediately assume that they're out there to, to take more from the hobby than to give to it. Right. I mean, if it's the case, trust me, that'll be fleshed out. This thing here, this is not a get rich quick scam. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who are making a lot of money, in the hobby. Jeremy Lee probably makes money, but I'll be the first one to say this. That dude works his ass off. He is always working. Like, I couldn't do that. When I come on here, I talk when I have something to say. Like, that dude is always doing something. He's always doing an episode about an auction, or he's always got a guest on. And if he's making money doing this stuff, good for him. He's working hard to make that money. But I'm going to tell you, somebody like that, that's the exception. And maybe this is something that people out there need to hear before they, take to their keyboards and, they start making noise under their bridge, right? Yeah, I'm calling it trolls, right? Get with it. If somebody's going to go out there and make a podcast, guess what's going to happen? If they're doing it for the wrong reasons, they're going to be done after episode 4. Be done after episode 6. Whether you come on and crap on them on YouTube or, write a comment that they should shut up and stop talking because they're in it for the wrong way, you're not the one who's going to stop them from making content. If they're doing it for the right reason, they're going to keep at it. They're just going to do it, whether they're getting a sponsor, whether they're getting money for it. They're going to keep doing it. And the ones that are doing it for the wrong reason, because they think you could just turn on a microphone and talk about cards, and all of a sudden 5 hobby companies are going to call you up and offer their firstborn child and a pot of gold to you, they'll learn pretty quickly that doesn't happen. It's not 2021 anymore. There's no free lunch, damn it. So anyway, I've just seen a couple of these recently, and look, you can do what you want. I mean, that's the fun part about the internet, I guess, right? Just as these folks have the ability to go out there and contribute to the hobby their own way by, making a podcast or making car rips or making videos, funny content, memes, you name it. I guess the other folks have the ability to piss all over what they're trying to do by going out there and having their Instagram accounts and crapping on it. What I will tell you is I'm going to see less of you. Because when I see it now, I was never a blocker, but it's almost ruining my experience on IG. And I think I'm going to suggest this to the people who are out there listening also. All right. Be judicious about it. Give people 4, 8, 12 strikes before you block them. Maybe restrict them first. Maybe restrict them for a week, you know? But I'm telling you, man, get me. The trolls came to get me. I don't know what I did. All of a sudden, my camera like disappeared. What I say is listen, let folks do their own thing, right? Let folks do their thing. And my suggestion to you guys is I have fun. This is an escape for me, right? This is an escape for me, this hobby. I got other drama going on and in life and at work and all this other fun stuff. I want to be able to come here, go on Instagram, find out cool stuff about the hobby, talk to people about the hobby, see the new cards, see the products, see what people are pulling, see what the companies are doing, see what kind of cool auctions there are out there, what kind of cards are coming out, what kind of cards are available for sale, hear about the success stories, hear about, collecting with family, who got what at a show, who's chasing what grail card did somebody acquire and how. The back and forth, man, it just detracts from the whole experience. And I think I'm gonna start blocking some of it. I got to tell you, and I think you guys probably should do that also. It doesn't mean I have thin skin because I've been dealing with these same characters for a while, and it's not who you think. I am not talking about the folks out there who are making legit content, right? I hope that people understand that's not what it is. I'm not talking about somebody who's a podcast, a video maker, or anything. I'm talking about people who they're legit, just in your IG comments, never anything nice to say. Never. It's always just negative. It's always just, you did this wrong. You don't understand it. You're in this for the wrong reasons. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other people. Like, I have a lot of friends here. I've built up a lot of friends. I talk to a lot of people in the hobby, and I see their stuff. They tag me in it. I try to comment. I try to be, supportive of folks, and you should do that too. By the way, guys, for people, it means the world to them. And I go in the comments and I see what people write, and you're like, geez, like, what are you doing, man? Why are you saying this stuff? What? Like, just make you feel better? I wish I could block you and delete you off of somebody else's post, but I can't. I can just delete you from my own eyes, from my own site, and maybe I won't see you anymore. So anyway, there's my fun for the day. The cards, the drama, the money. I hope you guys are enjoying the hobby. This is a fun time of year. I think if I'm going to leave you with one thing at the end of the episode, it's this. It's about a month till Christmas. Actually, I think, a little less than a month. So whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, Kwanzaa, Christmaka, you celebrate Merry whatever, you celebrate, Festivus for the rest of us, whatever it is you celebrate yourself this time of year. Figure out something that doesn't have to be expensive. But maybe, to get back to the roots of the hobby, think about what you as a kid collector would have wanted, right? What is the card you wanted as a kid? Was it a 1990 Topps Frank Thomas rookie? Was it a Griffey Jr.? Was it a 89 score Barry Sanders or Deion Sanders? Or, did you always want that Hoops rookie David Robinson? What is that card? It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be $5. Go out and buy it for yourself. All right? And put it in a collection. Start up that PC that the 10, 12, 13-year-old you would have wanted to have. And I'm going to do it myself. It doesn't have to be a PSA 10. If you want to, go ahead. But it doesn't have to be. I'm not telling you to go out there and spend all your money because it doesn't have to be about money. Get yourself something nice. Find a fun way to enjoy the hobby. Because believe it or not, that's what brought you here when you first found whatever the first episode of my show you listened to. It's what brought you to the hobby. It's what brought you to the first card show you went back to after a long time away. It's what brought you to, an LCS. It brought you to a show. And I think it's probably also what's going to help keep you here. Figure out something that you're having fun doing, something that's going to be an escape. Because, heck, there's so much drama out there. There's just so much drama that'll take away from it. You got to find something fun. I'm building a set with Ian. I'll show you guys after I only have one card to the set, so I don't want to show you what it is yet because you can't really call one card a set. But when I get, 30, 40% of the way built on the set, I'll show you guys what it is and we'll have some fun. And there you go, guys. Happy Monday. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care, everybody.